How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. A video that I guess was kind of put on the back burner for a while, sadly. It's been almost exactly a year since most of the footage was shot and the vacation was done. I guess long story short, me and my family, my wife's family, took a trip out to see my side of the family in Washington State. So we all met up in our apple orchard, or in Seattle rather, drove up to the apple orchards, and then spent a couple days there, about 3 days there, and then drove back to Seattle, spent another 3 or 4 days in Seattle, and took a lot of photos. I think I might have done 11, 12 rolls, mix of color and black and white. And speaking of the setup, I actually wanted to slim down a little bit for this vacation, so I took the Leica MP 35mm Summilux and the 50mm Summilux. I decided to leave the medium format cameras behind, which we can talk about at the end of the video, but I wanted to keep this setup super simple and not have any other camera choices to choose from. I did have lens focal length to choose from, but that wasn't super hard because I think the 35mm was on the camera for 90% of it. I try to keep this super simple, as minimal as choices as possible. I only had film and 2 lenses, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. And without further ado, I'm going to stop talking your ear off and we'll talk a little bit more at the end of the video. So that was the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked what you saw. Some notes about the video and or the photos that I took there, and what I thought about this more simple setup that I took on a family trip. There were some pros and cons. I think there's mostly pros. I really did enjoy not having a lot of choices to deal with and just being able to take as many pictures as I saw fit, especially because it's a smaller camera. Had more frames. I guess more frames is kind of a good and bad thing. There were occasions during the trip where I wanted to take, or wished I had a medium format camera, either my Mamiya 7 or the Hasselblad 501C. Those would have been great options for, especially in some of the landscape areas that we were in northeastern Washington, where my grandfather's orchards are. Really lends into taking, you know, bigger negatives and having a lot more detail. And also, I think I would have preferred the smaller amount of shots you get when you are shooting medium format, or the quantity of it. Being able to shoot 10 frames or 12 frames would be a lot more fun, I guess you would say, because I'd be able to switch back and forth between different film stocks a little bit faster. I think there were times where I was, you know, stuck on color film, and I really wanted to go back to shooting black and white, but I had to get through 36 frames. The only drawback to shooting 35mm only is that you really kind of have to commit to the stock that you put in your camera. That being said, speaking of stocks, which is a great transition to one of the stocks that I brought with me, which is Lomochrome Purple, and the images that I got out of there were surprisingly fun. I know I've read a lot of people saying that Lomochrome Purple is weird and it makes people look like Oompa Loompas because everybody looks orange, and I think if you go in with a mindset that you're not going to shoot a lot of portraits or street photography of people and their faces, it actually is a fun film stock to shoot. I did get a couple of people in some of the images, which actually I think worked really well to this setting that we were in when I was shooting that film. I will say it does need or require a lot of sun. I think some of the shots that I took that were in a little bit lower light or later in the afternoon didn't look as good as like middle day sun. So be warned, if you ever shoot Lomochrome Purple, wait for a sunny day and don't shoot it. I don't know, I think they do make Lomochrome Purple in medium format, which I might want to try and shoot that very soon, because that's, again, only 10 shots, so it's not something that you have to commit to for a long period of time. So maybe I'll do a Lomochrome Purple video in the future, but please stay tuned. I do have a lot of video ideas coming up. I think I'm going to try to do a couple Q&As and a couple more educational videos, especially on the developing side. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon.